Guianas is arguably one of the strangest regions on Earth. Despite being located in the northeastern corner of South America and bordering Brazil and Venezuela, the region has been largely uninfluenced by its neighbors. Instead, Guianas, comprising three territories, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana, has developed a distinct identity both geographically and culturally. Covering an area of about 468,000 square kilometers, slightly larger than the state of California, the land lies on the ancient Guiana Shield, formed over 2 billion years ago, creating a rugged terrain of plateaus, table mountains, and nearly inaccessible jungles. About 80–90% of the area is covered by primary tropical rainforest, while the intricate river system, such as the Essequibo River, and the soft, flooded soil make it almost impossible to move and live inland. Therefore, the population is mainly concentrated along the coast, where the land is improved by the canal system. Historically, due to the terrain being too difficult to exploit, Spain had ignored this land, giving the opportunity for England, France, and the Netherlands to take turns occupying and developing separate colonies, unlike the rest of South America. During the colonization, European empires brought African slaves and contract laborers from India, China, Java, and the indigenous people, creating a rare multi-ethnic and multicultural society, more Caribbean than South American. That's why Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana are often seen as different from the rest of South America. But that doesn't take away from the stunning natural beauty of these places. Come join us on a journey to discover these unique lands. Not noisy on the tourist map, Guyana surprises many people with its natural treasures hidden deep in the heart of this small country. Located in northern South America and bordering the equator, this place owns one of the largest and most intact primary tropical forest systems in the world. Throughout history, the forest has been home to indigenous communities, closely connected to nature, and passed on many precious cultural values. Although mass tourism has not yet developed strongly, Guyana is gradually becoming an ideal destination for those who are passionate about exploring the jungle and experiencing wild nature. This place does not have too many tourist trails or modern amenities, but that is what keeps its pure and mysterious beauty intact. With a humid tropical climate and diverse ecosystems, Guyana's jungles play an important role in ecological balance and carbon absorption. It is also home to countless rare flora and fauna species that few places in the world still preserve. In the context of global climate change, this forest is increasingly being protected as part of a living natural heritage. For those who are passionate about nature and desire to experience the true wilderness, Guyana is a promising and different destination. The nature here has a pristine beauty with dense vegetation, winding rivers, and a rare and rich wildlife, creating a vivid and enchanting picture. The Rupununi River flows through the tropical grasslands of southern Guyana, creating a pristine landscape with diverse ecosystems. During the rainy season, The river can temporarily connect to the Amazon system through natural floodplains. It is home to many endemic fish, birds, and wildlife, making it ideal for ecotourism and nature research. Don't forget to subscribe for more adventures. Amidst the dense jungle of a large reserve in Suriname, Voltzberg Mountain impresses with its round granite shape, rising high above the sea of green trees. This place has long attracted exploration enthusiasts with its unique climbing routes and rare wild landscape. The area around the mountain is home to many rare bird species, including the harpy eagle, a symbol of the rainforest. The mountaintop offers panoramic views, opening up a majestic natural landscape full of life. Not every city makes people linger at first sight, but there is a riverside place where history and quiet charm blend together. That is Paramaribo. Located just a few miles from the Atlantic Ocean, the city is like a jewel cherished on a coral reef, where the water reflects the tropical sky. Having gone through many changes from the time of the indigenous people to becoming a colony of France, England, and the Netherlands, Paramaribo bears the deep imprint of interwoven cultures. The wooden houses in the Dutch style, ancient canals, and colonial buildings are still preserved as a part of the living memory. The historic center of the city has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, as a testament to the unique beauty in the heart of South America. The space here is both European and rustic, tropical, a blend that is hard to separate. As the first rays of sunlight glisten on the surface of the Suriname River, a graceful curve appears, connecting the past with the present, with a modern beauty rising amidst tropical nature. That is the Wijdenbosch Bridge, a work that is not only symbolic but also reflects the development aspirations of Suriname. Inaugurated in 2000, this bridge is more than 1.5 kilometers long, connecting the capital with the eastern region, opening up a convenient and promising trade route. Going beyond its traffic function, Wijdenbosch is also a place that leaves an impression of the connection between people, landscape, and an open future. There is a place where rivers, forests, and people blend together like a silent symphony. That is Brokopondo. Located in eastern Suriname, this district is surrounded by vast tropical rainforests and winding rivers of all sizes. This place is not just a part of the map, but a part of the national soul, where communities of Maroon descendants live and preserve their ancestral culture through many generations. In the heart of the district, the vast Brokopondo reservoir is like a giant mirror, reflecting the sky and memories of the years of hydroelectric construction since the 1960s. This project once played a key role in providing energy for the aluminum industry. In addition, the discovery of gold in the 21st century has made this place a destination not only for investors, but also for dreams of changing their lives. But beyond its economic value, Brokopondo also preserves its precious wildness with resorts nestled in the forest, where visitors can wake up to the sound of birdsong and the smell of damp leaves. Waterfalls pouring from the high mountains carry cool mist, like a whisper of nature to the travelers passing by. All create a picture that is both fierce and gentle, making anyone who has touched it once not want to leave. Brokopondo is not noisy, not ostentatious, but it is that silence that makes this land so strangely memorable. In every dirt road, every stroke of rowing down the river, perhaps people will find a piece of peace in their soul. Feel free to leave a comment below and share your thoughts with us. Frederiksdorp is a former riverside plantation in Suriname, built in the 18th century and once a center for coffee and cocoa production. Today, it is preserved as a historical site and eco-resort, attracting visitors with its old wooden houses and peaceful riverside space. With its lush green landscape and colonial architecture, Frederiksdorp is an ideal destination for those who love history and want to immerse themselves in a nostalgic atmosphere. A quiet stream flows through coconut groves, embracing peaceful villages and old plantations filled with memories. Not only a trade route, the river also takes people back in time, discovering a land steeped in history and the wild beauty of nature. From the man-made mounds built thousands of years ago, the Nickerie region saw the first footprints of indigenous people settling along the tranquil river. In the 18th century, the first plantations were established, and during the British occupation, many Scots and English came here to clear the land, mainly growing coffee and cotton. In 1879, after a flood destroyed the old center, the new capital, New Nickerie, was built as a symbol of revival. Located on the northwestern coast of Suriname, the district borders Guyana and the Atlantic Ocean, making it a strategic location for trade and culture. The ethnic diversity with East Indians, Javanese, Africans, Chinese, and Europeans has created a cohesive multicultural community. The name Nickerie is likely derived from the Nickerie, an indigenous group recorded in documents dating back to the 16th century. In the 20th century, infrastructure development, especially interprovincial roads, brought the area closer to the rest of the country. Over the years, Nickerie has remained its own character, a place where tradition and movement, past and future, meet. Once a colonial plantation, Smal-Kalden bears the traces of a prosperous agricultural era along the gentle river. Over the centuries, this place has witnessed many generations of people coming and going, leaving behind fields of sugarcane and coffee and stories of life attached to the land. No longer the bustling center it once was, Smal-Kalden now quietly hides in the wild nature of Suriname, like a quiet piece in historical memories. In the vast expanse of the ocean where North-South America meets the ocean, there is a coastal town nestled by a quiet river, carrying layers of history and aspirations to reach the sky. That is Kourou. Located in the north-central part of French Guiana, the town is surrounded by dense tropical forests, a cool, humid climate all year round, and gentle rivers flowing into the Atlantic Ocean. Kourou was a French penal colony from 1854 to 1944, a period that left many painful traces amidst the rich natural beauty. Before that, in the 18th century, about 15,000 settlers from France and Germany arrived here, carrying the dream of the legendary El Dorado, but most of them died of disease and poverty. Quietly over time, the town has been strongly revived when it became the location of the Guyana Space Center, a large and important satellite launch facility in Europe. The space here is both close to the ground thanks to coffee, cocoa, and tropical fruit farms, and yet reaching high with aspirations with spacecraft leaving the launch pad. The deserted beaches, mangrove forests, and sunsets stretching across the river make Kourou an interesting destination for those who love peace. Even before the arrival of Europeans, the land along the Maroni River was inhabited by the colonial people, an indigenous community deeply connected to the forests, rivers, and seas. Despite being devastated by disease and colonial invasion, they persevered, rebuilding their lives by establishing the villages of Awala in the late 1940s and Yalimapo in 1950. On the 31st of December 1988, the commune of Awala Yalimapo was officially established, separated from the commune of Mana, and has since assumed its own administrative status in the wilderness. Located in the far north of French Guiana, right on the border with Suriname, this is a space where the ocean, mangroves, and indigenous culture meet. The area is recognized as a protected ecological area, where pristine beaches are a rare destination for sea turtles to breed each year. With a large area of public land granted since 1998, the local people continue to preserve their traditional way of life through hunting, fishing, and subsistence farming. More than just a place to live, Awala Yalimapo is also a symbol of identity and cultural revival in the middle of the modern century. There, the sea sings an ancient lullaby, and the forest recounts memories that have never faded. Conceived as a vision at the 1992 Rio Earth Summit, the Guyana Amazon National Park was officially established in 2007, following years of consultation with local communities and recognition of the vital role of indigenous peoples. It is the result of ongoing efforts to protect a precious part of the Amazon rainforest and preserve the traditional cultures that have existed in the area for centuries. Located in the deep south of French Guiana, the park covers an area of over 33,900 square kilometers and is currently the largest national park in the European Union. Its isolated location means it can only be reached by boat or plane, creating a sense of adventure in the middle of a land untouched by humans. The humid tropical climate, combined with the terrain of dense forests, rivers, and granite mountains, has nurtured a unique ecosystem with thousands of rare species of plants and animals. The park is also home to Amerindian and Bushinengwe communities, the custodians of indigenous knowledge of nature and sustainable living. They live in harmony with the forest, see nature as part of their soul, with their own language, ritual customs, and distinctive cuisine. Visitors come here not only to discover the majestic beauty of nature, but also to have the opportunity to approach the vibrant and pristine culture. It is the combination of history, geography, rich ecosystems, and cultural heritage that makes the Guyana Amazon Park a treasure not only for French Guiana, but also for the world. Nestled in the jungles of southern Guyana, Rewa village is a melting pot of indigenous culture and pristine nature. Inhabited by the Makushi people, the village is renowned for its sustainable ecotourism, where visitors can explore the Amazon and learn about a way of life in harmony with nature. The Indian Ocean is the world's third largest ocean, located between Africa, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. With its warm, resource-rich waters, it plays a vital role in maritime trade, global climate, and marine biodiversity. There are streams that carry not only water, but also the rhythm of life, memories, and identity of a land. One of them is the great river that winds through the center of Suriname, weaving between dense forests and mountains, connecting people with nature for generations. Both a vital artery and a place to preserve pristine beauty, the river constantly tells the story of a country rich in culture and closely connected to its living environment. Once the site of a notorious French prison from the late 19th century, Saint Laurent du Maroni marks a grim period in colonial history. Over the decades, it received thousands of exiled prisoners from the mother country, with the prison cells, corridors, and prison camps still bearing the marks of time. The old prison has become a prominent historical tourist destination, attracting visitors to learn about the dark past and thrilling stories associated with this land. The ancient architecture and quiet atmosphere make the tour deep and thoughtful. Outside the prison, the town lies along a large river, where dugout canoes still drift quietly, carrying the slow pace of life of the local people. Not only history, this place is also a colorful cultural picture, with the presence of many ethnic communities such as Maroons, Native Americans, or Creoles. There are lands where beauty lies not in their obvious splendor, but in their silence, their wildness, and their grandeur, as if time had never touched them. The Amazon in French Guiana is such a place, a sacred part of the largest tropical forest on the planet. Stretching across the southern part of the territory, the forest is immersed in a humid climate all year round, where life constantly thrives among the layers of trees. Hidden beneath the foliage is a world of thousands of creatures, from birds and wild animals to rare insects and plants. In the villages nestled by the river, indigenous communities such as the Guyana or Teco people have preserved a way of life closely connected to nature for generations. The history here is marked by expeditions, conservation debates, and a long colonial period. Today, the forest is surrounded by the Guyana Amazon Park, a vast reserve that is strictly protected. For those who have a desire to explore, this is a magical world waiting to be heard with all your heart. Despite being located entirely on the South American continent, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana have very distinct identities, largely due to their colonial history and European cultural influence. Rather than being closely integrated with their Spanish or Portuguese-speaking neighbors, the three regions have developed their own distinct languages, institutions, and networks. From English to Dutch to French, each retains the imprint of its mother country. Their distinct economic, political, and cultural differences often make them feel separate from the rest of South America. But that is what makes Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana such unique and fascinating destinations.